What is going on, you guys? My name is Cody Thixton, and this is Interesting Podcast. Coming to you guys on February 1st, 2023 for episode 19. And tonight we are going to be talking about All Elite Wrestling and why I think this could be the potential beginning of the end for All Elite Wrestling. Let's get right into this. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you like podcasts and pro wrestling, because this is the channel for you. AEW has been a wrestling promotion since January 1st of 2019. I remember that day I had actually gotten a notification on my phone from Google saying that All Elite Wrestling has officially announced it is an official company. Now, I remember watching them go throughout the entire press conference. I remember watching all of the videos leading up to them signing certain superstars. Watching all of the vignettes, like them going and getting Jim Ross and visiting him at his house and setting everything up for AEW Double or Nothing in April of 2019. It was all very, very exciting. It was very, very good. Good shit was AEW when it had first started. And I actually have in front of me a book that I have actually been keeping track of. And this was AEW's entire first year. So like front to back is just nothing but stats of AEW. Every single event, every single match, all of the records, where it was held, the date it was held, everything is in this book front to back. I know AEW. I was a huge fan of AEW. And they had something that was very special that to me they squandered, and they ruined their own mission statement. AEW says that they want to be the alternative to professional wrestling. We've had alternatives for years. I mean, look back at the 90s when we had WCW. We had that. We had ECW. We had TNA. We have Impact. We have AAA, we have New Japan, we have MLW, we have Defy Wrestling, we have any mom and pop shop pro wrestling that you have in your area, where here in Oregon it's the West Coast Wrestling Connection, so the WCWC. We've had alternatives. We don't need alternatives in the world of professional wrestling. Because no matter what AEW does, they will never be on the level of WWE. Ever. Period. There will never be another WrestleMania. Period. Ever. You can't recreate what we already have. That's why if you look at AEW, a lot of their storylines are rehashes of what WWE has already done over the last 30 years. WWE has done every single type of storyline that you could possibly do in professional wrestling. So AEW isn't really doing anything different. Another one of their mission statements was that they wanted to incorporate more sports-like aspects to professional wrestling, which is something that us fans have been asking for. We want a more sports-like product for the world of professional wrestling. That's why everybody got really excited when he said that they would be keeping track of records and that would actually help them determine their number one contender in certain situations. They fucked up on that. And I know because, like I said, I was keeping track of the records. I have the proof right here. They screwed up. In my opinion, they screwed up big time. Because I remember there was this one week on AEW Dynamite. One of the Young Bucks, I think it was Nick Jackson, he comes out in a singles match right? Because they had different records. You had a singles record, you had a tag team record, whatever. Well, on Nick Jackson's name logo, they put his tag team record, even though he was coming out as a singles performer. So I'm supposed to look at the record as a fan watching your product on TV and see his tag team record when he's going into the ring to fight by himself, which should impact his singles record. So why am I being shown the tag team record? Makes no sense. That's how they fucked it up. It's because they wanted it to where now his record doesn't, his singles record doesn't mean anything, because he's a part of a tag team. So then why the fuck even have the singles record if you're in a tag team? Makes no sense to me. Or why would you even book somebody if that's the way you want to run it in a singles match if it's only going to mean anything when it's a tag team match? Makes no fucking sense. So they fucked it up. That was one aspect. AEW bringing in countless superstars over and over and over and over and over again. We have another big surprise. Fucking random person. The most disappointing one was when Christian made his fucking debut. It sucked. Tony Khan went onto Twitter and said that he had a huge surprise for this Wednesday's Dynamite. Make sure to tune in. We tuned in and we fucking got Christian. Like, nobody, it's sad. It really, really is sad. Nobody has ever given a fuck about Christian. Nobody cares about Christian. Nobody cared about him in WWE. Nobody cared about him in AEW. He does nothing for any product. The only product he actually did something good with was TNA and Impact. That's it. Over and over again, we would get these superstars coming in just out of the blue, just random. It was just, it's ridiculous because when you're watching at home, you want consistency. You want consistency in your pro wrestling products so that then you can get invested in a storyline. When you have a superstar who I get, they have to be jobbed out. You know, they have to fight somebody that is going to make them look good in the ring to build more intrigue on their character. I get that. But it doesn't have to happen when there's already a storyline going on. You know what I mean? You don't have to keep jobbing the person out and making them look even more powerful, like a fucking Brian Cage. We know he's powerful. We know this. Look at him. You don't need to have him go out there and fucking job to another superstar or another random just to make him look good. He already looks good. Just set him up with the fucking match. That's it. It's ridiculous. So that's where, like, to me, AEW fucked up at first, and it actually did impact their viewership. And that's something that people don't want to talk about because they say that it's none of our business what the viewership is. When, to me, viewership is everything. If people aren't watching your product, people don't care. If you announce something one week and you have 900,000 viewers, and then the following week you go down to 750,000 viewers, that announcement didn't do shit for your product. It did nothing because it obviously wasn't intriguing enough for there to be a boost in the viewership, not a decline. So yes, viewerships do matter. How else can you actually gauge whether or not people are intrigued by a product? How many people buy it? So you're going to tell me that, like, people can't talk about fucking Pepsi or Coca-Cola? Because that's essentially what the fuck we're talking about here. We're talking about AEW and some of WWE. It's just fucking ridiculous, dude. It's really ridiculous that people don't want to attack that or pinpoint that as an issue with AEW because AEW is just fucking great. AEW has a lot of issues. Lot of issues. And it's obviously been felt through their viewership if you look at the numbers. It was reported on January 26, 2023, that DAZN, DAZN, announces multi-year, multi-territory exclusive broadcast deal with All Elite Wrestling. DAZN is a streaming service with all kinds of different sports. You can go and subscribe to them and just watch whatever frickin' sports they have on there. This is a massive thing that is very bad for AEW. And don't try and tell me that it's the same exact thing as WWE being on Peacock. It's not. It's not the same thing. People will go and subscribe to Peacock for $9.99 a month because of the fact that you get WWE plus everything else. DAZN, I don't fucking know anybody who is going to go out of their way to pay another streaming service just to watch AEW. AEW, whenever they reach 1 million viewers, people act like as if it's a fucking achievement. You got fucking 1 million viewers. That's fucking awesome, but it's not consistent. That's what we need. We need consistency. And that's why TNT clearly didn't want to renegotiate their contract. Because look at the viewership that they got. How much you gonna bet? They were like, okay, well, we'll finish out the contract and then, we're gonna go our separate ways. Fail. Absolute fail. Because look, AEW now that they are exclusive to a streaming service, they're not even on TV anymore. They don't even touch a candle to WWE. This is why I say I think that the nail has been hit in the coffin of AEW. Because there's nobody who's going to be able to convince me that this is good for AEW. They're now completely off TV. How the hell is AEW going to garner more viewers just being on DAZN? Instead of them being able to have a commercial exclusively for TNT. Everybody has seen the AEW fucking commercials that they air to promote their TNT show. What about when that goes away? How many people in the IWC that sit there and defend AEW aren't going to be able to anymore because of the fact that they can't say that, oh, well, you can't just look at it that way. What about the people who DVR it or the people who watch later? That's now no longer even an argument. Because, watch, when we actually get news about how many extra subscriptions DAZN has gotten because of the fact that they have exclusive rights to AEW, that will determine just how fucking important AEW really is. Because it's really died down as far as importance. And nobody is going to be able to convince me otherwise. Period. I have been following AEW since the very beginning. The very announcement of the company. I've been following it. I know what I'm talking about. This is not good for AEW. Not good at all. Because I know for damn sure I'm not fucking paying another $9.99 just to fucking watch AEW. AEW is not worth that amount of money. And I've gone and seen AEW live. I went there on January 6th at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum here in Portland, Oregon. I've been there. I was also at the September 12th, 2022 episode of Monday Night Raw that was held at the Moda Center here in Portland, Oregon. And let me tell you, WWE kicks AEW's ass when it comes to live professional wrestling shows. Period. They kick their ass. This is not good for AEW. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on everything that goes on as more news comes out, or if we get the news about how many extra subscriptions DAZN actually gets from these exclusive rights deals. Make sure to hit that like, comment down below, subscribe if you guys like podcasts and professional wrestling. Again, this is Interesting Podcast. I'll catch you guys later.